My daughter just turned 18 and said she'll cut me off if I don't keep paying child support to her mom. So I told her to get a job, work 60-hour weeks and pay it to her yourself. Last week in the family court parking lot. Overcast sky, perfect for the mood. I just left the courthouse with the paperwork in hand, official, signed, and stamped. My child support payments were over. Done. After 18 years, I could finally breathe. And not just financially. Emotionally. You spend almost 2 decades being treated like a paycheck and a villain, and eventually, you stop pretending everything is fair in life or fixable. But my daughter? She didn't see it that way. It started with a text that night. From Mia. We need to talk. She's never been one for small talk. Got that from me. So I called her. Hey. Silence on the line for a few seconds. Then, Mom's freaking out. She said you stopped paying child support. That's right, I said calmly. You're 18 now. It's over. Another pause. Then, she can't afford to live. She doesn't know what she's going to do. I didn't say anything. Because what was there to say that hadn't already been said? In courtrooms, through lawyers, in emails filled with venom and dollar signs? She raised me, Dad, Mia continued. She took care of everything. You think just because you hit a date on a calendar you can stop caring? That one stung. Not because it was true, but because it was so far from it. Flashback to 15 years ago. My apartment. Shitty neighborhood. Mattress on the floor. Barely decent enough for me and Mia when she came during my parenting time. Back then, I was working 2 jobs just to keep up with the payments. She'd drag me back to court any time she felt like the checks weren't big enough or fast enough. If she felt like I got a 25-cent raise, she came for 20 cents of it. I missed rent more than once. I skipped meals. I drove a car with no AC and tires bald enough to pray over. And every time I asked for understanding, for adjustment, for breathing room, I got the same cold shrug. Take it up with the court. She never cared how much I struggled. She never cared that I had to choose between groceries or gas some weeks. But now that the money stopped for her, now it's a crisis. Back to the phone call with Mia. I'm not giving her another dime, I said flatly. Wow, she snapped. You're really just gonna let her drown like that? If you care that much, go get a job. Work 60+ hours a week and hand her your paycheck. That's what I did. There was a long pause, then she said it. If you don't help her, I can't have a relationship with you. And she meant it. 3 days later, no texts, no calls. I'd hoped maybe she'd cool off, that she'd realize she didn't mean what she said. But Mia doesn't bluff. She's stubborn, principled, just like her mother in the worst ways, just like me in the ones that hurt most. I saw she posted on Instagram, a black square. Caption, family doesn't abandon you when it's inconvenient. She didn't tag me, didn't have to. The people who knew, knew. I clicked through the comments, friends hyping her up, strangers dropping heart emojis. Some even called me out by name. She must have told them everything, well, her version of it. No one asked about the years I spent working overnight shifts. No one asked about the Christmases I spent alone so she could have presents under a tree at her mom's house. No one remembers the scraped-together birthday gifts, the broken-down car I kept running just long enough to drive her to school, the rent payments I missed so they didn't. All anyone sees is that I stopped paying. That Saturday, I drove past their old house, the one I used to drop Mia off at every other weekend. The porch is sagging. The gutters are shot. Her mom never was good with money. I know she's struggling. I believe Mia when she says it's bad. But I also remember when I begged her mother for just 1 month of relief. Just one. And she laughed in my face and filed another motion instead. There were no tears for me when I was scraping coins out of my cup holder to buy groceries. Why should I be expected to care now, when caring is just code for pay up again? Sunday morning I got a text from my sister. Mia blocked me. Said I support an abuser for siding with you. That one punched me in the gut. Not because of the insult, but because I realized how far gone she was. It wasn't about money anymore. It was about choosing sides, drawing lines, writing a villain into a story that's way more complicated than she understands. She's 18. She sees the world in sharp lines, right and wrong, good and bad, love and betrayal. I remember being that age. I just never thought I'd be cast as the bad guy in my own daughter's eyes. On Monday evening when I got home from work, I found a small box on my porch. Inside were photos, mostly of Mia and me, vacations, birthdays, her first softball game. Ones I framed, ones I loved. No note, just a quiet, clear message. She's gone. I've replayed that phone call 100 times, wondered if I could have softened the blow, said something less brutal. Offered to help just this once, but I didn't. And I won't, because every time I consider breaking, I remember the times I cried in my truck outside the courthouse, wondering how I'd afford rent and the new increase her mom demanded. I remember begging the judge for mercy and being told, "You're the father, that's your responsibility." No one told her mother the same when I had to sell plasma to make ends meet. So now? No. I'm done paying to be in people's lives who only remember me when there's a bill due. I haven't spoken to Mia since that night. She's an adult now. She made her choice, and I'm learning to live with mine. But I'd be lying if I said it doesn't ache. Not just the silence, but knowing that after everything, she thinks I'm the villain for finally saying no. So now I'm here, sitting in my quiet house, surrounded by silence and old photos, asking the internet the same question I can't ask her anymore. Am I the asshole for standing my ground?